work on the milestone one, we are going to make it so that the objects, in this case the NPCs and the enemies in the map and the items as well, are loaded from the tiled map instead of being loaded from a JavaScript module as they are currently. So let's take a look at how it's currently done. We got a inside the level loader, and this is something completely temporary. We are getting the mobs and the items from these hard-coded arrays. That was, of course, completely temporary, just as a way to have them in the map and being able to work on the combat and the inventory functionalities or features. So we are going to change that, and we are going to read them from the map. So this is our test map. What we are going to do, and here it is on tiled. What we are going to do is we're going to create an additional layer here for the items and an additional layer for the mobs, and then we are going to do some kind of mapping between the tiles and the actual definitions for the items and the mobs. Now, I thought for some reason that tile supported some kind of objects, but inside the tile map, and if you happen to know about a way for tile to be able for me to put an object with properties and then read them back, that would be great. I thought that what it had when I saw this objects thing here, and you can create objects layers. So for example, see here, I can create a object layer, but what this is actually about is being able to put these kind of objects inside the map, and that's not really helpful. I mean, these are like free form kind of objects, uh, not really helpful for what we need. Not sure when that could be helpful, but yeah, not really useful for us. So we're going to have to do some kind of mapping from the tile, from a tile layer to our definition. So let's go ahead with that approach. We can change it later if we find that it doesn't work. So we're going to create a layer which is called mobs, and I'm going to put it in almost the top of the stack of layers, and then very quickly let's put some mobs. So here's where we start. Let's put a rat here, right? And then what we are going to do is, in the code, instead of obtaining the mobs from this list, which actually I think they are being loaded in a off-screen place, that's why we are not seeing them. But instead of doing that, we're going to read from the tile layer, and then we're going to go through it and read the tiles there and map that to ID, right? And then an amount. Oh, hold on, I'm going ahead than I need. We are going to tie that to an ID, right? Some way. So let's see how we can read a tiled layer. So we already are doing something similar with the solid mask. So if you see here, I got a solid mask, and that's actually this solid tiles layer. We are already reading through it and marking these positions as not walkable here. And the way that it's done is we have this method which loads the tile solid mask from the map. So for the mobs, we're going to do something similar. We're going to send the map, which is actually already loaded in memory, and then let me see, load mobs. Then we are going to go through that map, and we are going to get the tile on the layer that we want. So let's do that. As I said, I was hoping that there was a more structure solution, but no. So you are running through the map. This is not very clean here, but in any case, we are running to the map. We don't need this. We just need to know if there is a tile in a position. So tile is mat dot and we will have to go and check the API phasers API for tiled phaser CE. Is that what I'm using here? Not sure, but the API should not have changed a lot. And tile maps, tile map. Then we got this method hastile. No, this is not it. Oh wait, hastile. This is the one that we are currently using, and it's useful to know if we have a tile in a given position. But we don't need that. We need get tile on a given layer, and yeah. So let's use that. Get tile x and y, and we are going to get it from the mobs layer. Okay. What am I doing? And then that returns a tile, phaser.tile. We need the ID from that tile. Let's see how we can obtain that. It should be something like the let me see. This is the index. This is what we need, the index. How can we get to it? So tile. This is the constructor. Index, here it is. The index of this tile within the map data corresponds to the tile set. This is what we will have to map. So we're going to get the index. If tile is not null, then we get the index, and then we gotta somehow map that index to a definition of the mobs. So right now the mobs are defined in this structure, which will in the future be a file, an external file that is part of the data for this scenario. So we need to map this. As you can see, what we had here before, for now we are only going to load mobs, so the type will be mob, but we need the ID. We already have the X and the Y, so let's create the array that we're going to return. Mob data is an empty array, and we're going to be adding to that array objects which have type mob, have an ID, which is what we are going to map with the index, and we already got the X and the Y, and the ID mapping. So that I think is going to be part of the scenario data, because I don't see other way we could do that. So we are going to have that, but we do need to know what is this ID on the tile set. That may be a little problematic, because I think these IDs depend on the order that you add the tile sets to the map. I wish there was another way. I cannot think on any other way for that except having a separate map or something like that. What this means is that in order for a tiled map to be compatible with our engine, it will need to have these tile sets added in a very specific order. But as I always say, this is like the first step. What I don't know is how to get the ID. Oh, here it is. If you see here in this custom properties, how can I I wish I could add a custom property here and then being able to add, for example, a monster ID, and then I could look it up. Custom property, no, there's nothing here in the tile class properties. uh, Properties, tile specific properties, interesting. Tile specific properties, I wonder if how I can add a new property here. That would be great. Maybe in order to add that, it needs to be an external tile set. I think it makes sense to investigate that, because I don't really like much the idea of having an hard-coded ID. Let's do that just for first run. So in this case, we're going to add, well, actually we don't have rats loaded here into our mob data. We only have demons. Oh, we do have rats, okay. So let's go ahead with the rat. So we're going to map this ID 180 to rat, to the ID of the rats. So let's do this way. Just tile ID for the rats is going to be 180. And mob types, well, let me see, where are we using the mob type? We should have a place where we are using them. Oh, but I don't see mob type data. Okay, here we are. Oh, but this is the build. Mob types. Oh well, this is troublesome because it's assembled. Oh, let me see what we can do. I want to create a method that allows us to get a mob type by tile ID. That's what we really need. But I don't know where to add it, because where are we using the mob types? Here we are exporting them, here we are defining them, and here is where we require them. Right here, this is what I need, mob factory. So let's go to the mob factory, which is initialized with the mob type data. It's already got a build mob function, and we will add a get mob type by tile ID function, and it's going to receive a tile ID, and it's just going to go through all the mob types and find one which has tile ID, which is the one that we are looking for. Return. Okay, and then we are going to need the mob factory here in the level loader. Let's see, we already have it though. So we are going to do mob factory dot get mob type by tile ID here, and the tile ID is the index that should actually be called tile index, I guess. Yeah, tile index, and we are also going to change it here to tile index. Okay, so that, if it works, it's going to be adding a rat here in this position. Let me see what else may be missing. No, I think we're fine. So let's save this and let's build. So let me see, where's the build for this? Yeah, I think from the last session I kind of decided not to use the gulp script for now, just the normal build script because the gold one doesn't let us know this kind of errors. Level loader line 74. Level loader 74 is here. This is not good. Then level loader 83, 83. It's not recognizing the syntax. Done. And let's see if it works. I don't see any rat. It doesn't seem like it worked. Let's see if there's any errors. Developer tools. No errors. So probably it's not using this method. Load tile map mobs. Get I have not saved this. So let's save the map and let's build again. And I'm not sure where is adding that NPC from, but anyways, we will see. So refresh, and there's no rat. So load tile map mobs. Where is it getting that NPC from? Okay, don't tell me that I am updating the wrong one. No, this is the correct one. Scenario info, NPCs. This is the initial party. Level loader. I don't think it's getting the updated version of. Let's disable cache and try again. Well, it definitively something happened. Cannot read property find of undefined. So it's the problem is here. Mob types. Map type. Well, this is a map, not a list. That's mob type data. We're going to have to also save the list in addition of the map of mob types because we need to go through it. So yeah, an alternative would be building a separate map indexed by tile index. But yeah, let's not do that. T is not defined. What's wrong? T. I really need to set up the linter. Someday I will. Cannot read property for each of undefined. Where did that happen? Mobs data is being undefined. Oh, I am not returning the array, and that's here in the level loader. After we have filled it with data, we gotta return it. What happened now? Cannot read property appearance of undefined. So this is probably because of the rats not having complete data. So let's see, we have the mob types and the rat has a rat appearance. The appearances are here. We do have mobs. We don't have a rat, do we? No, oh well, we actually do. We do have a rat here. So why did that happen? We will have to debug and see. So definition is undefined. Mob data type mob ID undefined. Oh, what? There was a problem here. So apparently the objects with the mob data are not being created correctly. So yeah, let's see what's going on there. Load tile map. If we go to load tile map, let's go all the way to the method that we just created for the mobs. So for the ID, it seems like it's returning undefined. Okay. Let's stop here and see what's going on. So the index of the tile is 1922. 1922, which has nothing to do with this one. What was it? I missed it again. 180. Probably because of what I mentioned about the order of the tile sets. So it's probably been adding the full length of this tile set, and then it starts again and sums this 180. So that's why I did not really want uh, to do it using the tile indexes. Yeah, that's right. If you see here, we got this both these tiles have an ID of 0. So what it does is it puts the tile sets one after the other, and then yeah, the tile IDs change. So what was it? 1922. If we let's just finish that uh, with that approach, changing this to 1922. That should work, but that won't work long term for what we need. So we will have to look into the way to add properties to the tiles and being able to look them up by those properties. So yes. So maybe what we are going to need is a way of, a step before you create your scenario. You will have to set up your tile set, and the engine will come bundled with some ready to use tile sets which already should have this kind of mapping. It's still failing. Why did I save? 1922 was it? Okay. Load tile mobs. So tile dot id, no, tile tile dot index 1922. Alright, and then I need to reference the ID, which is what we're looking for here. Okay. That should work, but while we are doing that, let's explore creating a new tile set, and it's going to be called mobs, and it's going to use this image monster. Let's have it not have a transparent color because it's harder to browse here. Let's not embed it in the map, and let's see how that works. So it's going to be called mobs.tsx, DSX. Oh, this was not it. This was a different one. No, this is it. Okay. So it seems like it does allows us to edit the properties here, and it seems we can also add our custom properties. Uh, Whereas here we cannot do that. So I guess, yeah, I guess it can only be uh, done with external tile sets. Now I remember that last time we were working on the maps, external tile sets did not really work. So I don't know. But yeah, definitively I don't think this working with the tile indexes will work. It will be very hard to maintain. So let's go ahead and try just confirm here. As you can see, it worked. The rat was created and it's coming to me and it's probably going to try to attack me. Yeah. Now I'm going to destroy it. Oh, attack with magic axe. It's dead. As I mentioned before, the combat system is already working in for the most part. So yeah, it worked, but it won't work in the long term. So let's try to do that. I'm going to go ahead and add an external tile set, and then we will be able to create a custom property. For example, it's going to be called mob type ID, and it's going to be rat. And if we check, well, I set it for the wrong one. Let's set it for this one. Again, mob type ID. Oh, I can set the type as well. Let's do that. It's, oh well, only the name can be edited. Let's delete it and add it again, and it's going to be a number mob tile ID. No, wait, mob type ID. Oh, it's a string. What am I doing? Mob type ID, and it's a string, and in this case for this tile is going to be rat. So I think this tile set that will need to be pre-created will just have a single tile per each enemy. It doesn't have to have all the different animation frames and stuff, because that's already used when the appearance is defined for each type um, of mob. So yeah, so we created it. Let's try using that tile set here. So let me see. New tile set. No, not new tile set. Some kind of adding the existing tile set. Export tile set, embed tile set, edit tile set, edit tile set. But oh, what? Wait. It seems that we can add the custom properties here, but only when we are doing the tileset edition. Terrains, tile collision editor, terrains. What's a terrain? I don't know. Terrains. A terrain has some properties. I don't really know what this is. Let's not use it. Anyways, we can set tile collisions. Okay. Well, I don't know what this is for, but one thing is true, and it's that, oh, what am I doing? No, I don't want that. Oh, wait, it seems like we can create a terrain with some tiles. I will look into that afterwards. So here we are able to set the tile properties, but the problem I see with this is if I want to create more maps, I will like to reuse the tiles, and now that it's got embedded properties. I will not want to create or to have these properties be part of uh, of the map itself. So anyways, let's add external tileset. Here it is. Add external tileset, and we're going to add this mobs tileset. I don't know what happened there. Let's save. Maybe it's because it's name. There's already a tileset name mobs. It replaced it. And if I check this tile, I can see the mob tile ID that we set, but I'm worried. I should not be worried. Let's see. Let's try adding that rat. Okay, this is weird. It looks like it. Okay, so this one is called monsters and the other one is called mobs. Well, the first thing I see here is I'm actually going to need the transparency because else it doesn't look very good. So we are going to ditch this tile set. We don't need it. The tile set monster is still in use. Bye bye. And the oh wait, I added it to the wrong layer. Let's remove this from this layer, and then on the mobs layer we're going to put the rat. Let's put it here in this other place, and let's see how we can look it up by custom properties. So instead of just checking the tile index, we are going to get the property mob type ID. So we only do that if the tile is different, it's not null. The mob type ID is going to be tile, and we refer again to the documentation here, and I hope that is here. So properties returns an object with the tile specific properties, hopefully also the extended properties or the custom properties. It's an object, so in theory we could just do the mob type ID, and if it works then we just send it here. Let's see if it works. Oh well, it didn't work. I think it didn't work. We got an empty map here for the property. That's not good. I really hope that it would get the tile properties. Maybe we did something wrong. I'm not sure. What do we have about the tile? Let's see. So this tile is a phaser tile. It's on this layer. This is the data of the layer, which should be just like index. Well, it's actually tile objects. The layer has no properties. The index says it's an empty array. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. It doesn't seem to have any information about that. The index is 1922. Yeah, I don't see the extended properties here. That sucks. I hope they will be there. Yeah, but there's not much here that uh, specifies where it's getting them from. If we check the phaser's source code, let's see where these properties get assigned. So they are an empty object. They don't seem to be, there's, don't think it's, copy the tile data property from the given tile to this tile. And who knows when it gets called. That's hard to know. Because maybe it does copy the, when it's building the map, when it's reading the map, it copies that, then, but it still is not finding it. So 1922. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I cannot move them because of the way they are structured. Let me see something. Did we get the correct tile? 19. Well, yeah, it's not just not going to work because we are relying on finding that information here. But I'm not sure if we did put the correct one. So let's see. Let me. How can I select that tile? I don't think it's possible. No, this is it. This is it. If we do check, what's the last ID here is 255. But if we check, I thought it was going to work. If we check the map, it's still not ready. Cannot read property 2 of undefined. Whoops, what did we do? We messed up the map some way. Maybe, no, I don't know what I'm going to say about this. When it's creating the tile map, now it's failing because it's not finding something. So let's check the map file. It's currently here, scenarios, maps, forest 1. So we have the layer data and we have the tile sets, and these are the of course, yeah, these are the embedded tile sets, and then we have the external tile set, which is last. And maybe it's not finding it. I mean, this file, is it being copied over to the assembly? Probably not. Build assets, build scenario maps, and we only have this. We are not copying the tileset file. So maybe we do have to copy the file. I will just modify the build script to also copy the tsx files, which are the tile sets. From the maps folder, directory maps .tsx. Here are the properties, here are the properties, and maybe it will work, maybe it will read the tsx file from the same directory, or maybe it won't. And if it doesn't work, then we will have to look up a bit on how Phaser works with these external tile sets. Yeah, it it doesn't seem to be able to find it. Cannot read property 2 of undefined when loading this. So basically what's happening here is it's not loading the external tileset, but it's not warning either. Um, this is a problem with Phaser itself. Super tileset, object groups, where we will have to see where it loads the tilesets and see how it works. So because here's already loading the tiles themselves. The tilesets, I guess, are already loaded. But yeah, it's hard to check here. I wonder what phaser module is this. Let's see. Well, it's tile map phaser. Um, tile map phaser. I always forget how to find a file here. All right, tile map phaser. What? No. What was that again? Parser. Tile map parser. Parser. No. Tile map. Maybe it has changed. It's possible because, well, that's the name of the object, but maybe it's on a different file. Source, tile maps, parsers. This looks like a more advanced version of it. I mean, this is Phaser CE, I think. The latest version of Phaser. Is this Phaser 3? I'm not sure. It seems like this is Phaser 3. Yeah, this is not what I mean, the engine is coded in Phaser 2. Maybe Phaser CE? Yeah, that looks more like it. Okay. And then tile map parser. Oh, here it is. And then then we need to see how the tile sets are loaded. So parse tiles. Map data will consist of layers, objects, images, tilesets, and sizes. This is an array containing the tile indexes one after the other. Well, but this is if the map contains multiple tile sets, then the indexes are related to that which the set starts from. Need to set which tile set in the cache, which tile set in the JSON. Okay, it doesn't say anything about external tile sets here. Phaser can't load external tile sets. Cool. I wonder what. Oh, maybe we did get the warning, but did not see it. No, we are here and I don't see any warning. But yeah, external. Can't load. Oh. Load external tile sets. Yeah, I mean, I will have to check what version of Phaser we're currently using. This is the latest version of Phaser CE, and we are using Phaser 262. This is 2.11.0, it seems. Well, what? This is the latest one on master. which seems to be 2.11.0. Yeah. So even if we update to this latest version, it won't load external tilesets. I don't know why, mm, but that's just how it is. That's how it is. So I will have to think an alternative to this. Okay, we are getting close to the 1 hour mark, so I'm going to cut it here and scratch my head trying to figure out a best way to solve that. So I will see you later.